one missed deadline can cost you for life. Missing the right enrollment deadline is not a one-time inconvenience. For most people, it means permanent monthly surcharge that never goes away. Medicare doesn't let you sign up whenever you feel ready. CMS defines specific windows. Enrolling outside them without a valid reason triggers a lifelong penalty. The Part B penalty is 10% per year. Every year you're without Part B, you get an extra 10% on the cost. Part D is in Delta, 1% per uncovered month. So, Medicare at a glance, what are you enrolling in? Hospital insurance is Part A. Most people will pay nothing for this. There's a few exceptions. I'm not going to get into that here. But here's a caution with signing up for for Part A. You need to exercise extreme caution if you are contributing to a health savings account, not if you just have one, but if you're putting money in it. You could be subject to tax penalties. This does not apply if you have a health reimbursement account or a flexible spending account. Part B, Medicare or medical and outpatient care, covers doctor's visits, outpatients care, medical equipment, that sort of thing. Standard premium, this is the base premium, $202.90 a month for 2006. Part C is Medicare Advantage. It bundles Part A and B, and usually Part D through a private insurer. It's an alternative to original Medicare. However, you must be enrolled in A and B to get this. Part D, prescription drug coverage. If you don't pick Medicare Advantage, in most cases, you will need separate Part D prescription drug coverage. There's exceptions to that as well. I'm not going to get into them. So, initial enrollment period. This is your birth month when you turn 65, 3 calendar months before, 3 calendar months after. So, if you enroll in the first 3 months, like say, for instance, September is your birth month. Okay, so you count back 3 months, August, July, and June. June 1, you can start enrolling for Part A and B. Okay, your coverage will not begin until September in this example, but it's good to do that. If you wait until September to enroll in Part B and A, your coverage will start in October. However, if you wait until October, November, or December, you can still get in, but coverage will start up to 3 months later. Important. My recommendation, generally speaking, unless there's a reason not to, enroll in that first 3 months. Okay, suppose you say, hey, I'm still working covered by my employment plan. I don't need to sign up. Well, not so fast. There's a few things you got to make sure of so you can avoid the penalty. If you have qualifying employer coverage when you turn 65, you can delay Medicare in most cases without penalty, but you got to act once you do lose it within 8 months of losing that coverage. The SEP stands for Special Enrollment Period. It's triggered when active employer health insurance ends, yours or your spouse's employer. You have 8 months from the date employer coverage ends to enroll in Part B. Note, retiree coverage, COBRA, and marketplace plans do not qualify. Do not delay based on these things. You keep in mind, I've got a checklist. If you want to contact me and I'll send you the checklist, questions to ask and who to ask them. Credible drug coverage from your employer also protects against the Part D penalty. Get proof from your employer because not all employer plans are Part D equivalent. Most of them are, but it's no guarantee. Okay, so once you're on Medicare, there's an annual enrollment period. It runs from October 15th to December 7th every year. Okay, during this period, you can switch from original Medicare to Medicare Advantage or back, switch between Medicare Advantage plans, or join, switch, or drop a Part D plan. This period is for people that are already enrolled. If you're new to Medicare, use your IEP instead. If you're happy, and most people say, well, Steve, do I have to sign up every year? It's like, no, you don't. If you're happy with your current plan, review your ANOC letter. ANOC stands for Annual Notice of Change. If you like what you see, you just sit on your hands and you'll be rolled into the new plan. If you didn't get an ANOC letter, check with your provider to confirm that your plan has not been terminated. Last year, we had a bunch of plans that were terminated, and if you didn't sign up in time, you found yourself in January without coverage. So if you're changing plans, whichever plan that receives your application on or before December 7th is the winner. Okay, there's some other windows you should know about. General enrollment period. This is if you missed your IEP for signing up for Medicare A and B, you can apply first 3 months of the year. Okay. Then that also corresponds, the first 3 months of the year is also the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. This is if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan, you have one opportunity during that first 3 months to make a change. If April 1st comes around or you do make a change, you're pretty much stuck in that plan for the rest of the year. There's exceptions. I'll talk about them on another broadcast. And then there's the Medigap open enrollments. This is also for Medicare supplements. Medicare supplements and Medigap are essentially the same, two names for the same thing. When you sign up for Part B, as in Bravo, it starts a 6-month timer. During that 6 months, you can sign up for a Medicare supplement. The insurance company has to accept you. There's no medical underwriting, and this window only comes once. Now, in New York is a little bit of a special situation. In New York, you always have guaranteed issue. They always have to accept you. You could be 85 years old with an awful condition, and they'd have to take you. The other 49 states, I know at least one only observes the Part B 6-month window. I'm sure many others do. Check with your state because they can refuse you outside of New York in many cases. Okay, the penalties, what they actually cost. The math is stark. A 2-year delay on Part B adds a permanent 20% surcharge to your Part B premium every year. So this year, if you were 2 years without, you'll pay $202.90 a month. That's assuming something else doesn't bump you up. And then your 2-year delay will add another $40.58, $243.48 for the rest of the year. And then next year's, they'll do the 20% on top of whatever next year's base premium is. Part B is 1% of the national base premium times uncovered months. It's also permanent. And sometimes if you get the Part A penalty, which is rare, there's a 10% surcharge for twice the years delayed. And this is only if you have less than 40 work quarters. Okay, so here's your penalty avoidance checklist. When does my IEP open? 3 months before your birth month. Mark the calendar now. Is there qualifying employer coverage? Confirm that it's creditor coverage and get creditable coverage and get it in writing. When does my employer coverage end? Key takeaways: IEP, 7-month first window. Enroll early, ideally in the first 3 months. SEPs are special enrollment plans. We didn't go much into that unless, the one we talked about was the employer plan, loss of employer plan, and then the annual enrollment period. So your next steps: find your birth month, calculate your IEP window, and check your employer coverage status. Visit Medicare.gov to find out more. If you have questions, contact me and I'll give you personalized guidance. Once you graduate, be it for welding school, engineering school, or law school, you're going to need a different plan for each of these stages that's tailored to your situation. Working years: am I saving enough and is it in the right place? Glide path to retirement: last 10 years prior to retirement. Will the USS retirement be shipshape on the appointed day? Retirement: how do I avoid running out of money before I run out of life? Finally, legacy: does what I worked hard for get to where I wanted it to after I'm done with retirement? Can be reached at herwirefinancial.com. In the upper right-hand corner is a schedule an appointment button. I do in-person, Zoom, and phone appointments. I am licensed and registered across several states and can easily add states if there is a need. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can click on the Schedule an Appointment button in the upper right-hand corner of my website. Want to see more videos like this? Go to my website, click on the YouTube button. It's that red button, 2 buttons over from the Schedule an Appointment. Please follow me, subscribe on my YouTube channel. For those who prefer the good old-fashioned telephone, 518-631-2569. Do not text me there. We'll both be sad because I won't get it. There's a separate texting number. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only, not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance reference is historical, no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested in directly. All data is believed to be from reliable sources. However, no representation is made as to its completeness or accuracy. None of this is to be construed as tax or medical advice. Consult your advisor prior to taking any action. This information is intended to be educational, not tailored to the investment needs of any specific investor. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. There's no strategy that ensures success or protects against loss. There's no guarantee that a diversified portfolio will enhance overall returns or outperform a non-diversified portfolio. Diversification does not protect against market risk.